Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to GrowedUpGeek Gaming. I'm your host, Manny, at GrowedUpGeek on your social media, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. Thank you for joining us to your home for narrative and roleplay focused Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaigns. It is Tuesday, which means we are here for our presentation of Eberron, Tranquility's Twilight, our flagship long-term campaign with our original cast from our very first stream, who I adore and have missed for these last couple of weeks. We'll get to meeting them. We'll do a quick recap, and then we will jump into tonight's episode 7, Ransom Money. Before we do that, let us meet our amazing cast. We'll do a quick recap, and like I said, we'll jump right into a very big episode. Let us start with our semi-conscious wizard. If you remember back a couple of weeks ago, Kai, poor little guy, took kind of a beating.
Yeah.
When we finished and combat was over, he had managed to get a potion from one of the bandits who had attempted to, who were carrying the wagon full of money, had taken it, had rolled a 13 on his constitution save, and then because I am evil, I made him wait 4 weeks now until he found out what happened. Landon, tell us about Kai and his current situation.
So I currently play Kai. We will see how long that lasts. Who knows what will happen today? But
I got a pre-gen character ready for you to go. Artwork to match.
I'm basically copy pasting Ronan if this fails. But no, in all seriousness, his name is Kai Sidious. His full name is Kai Sidious. He is a Order of the Scribes wizard. I thought that'd be a really fun class to play. He's a gnome, as I typically like to play gnomes or dwarves, because, you know, I like the shorter characters. I relate to them.
Easier to roleplay.
Easier to roleplay. I can really get in character. He has issues with the status quo, namely the monarchy and all of the merchants, and how the lowest class of individuals around the nations are always the ones who suffer. And so that's been weighing heavily on his mind lately, and it may be the last thing on his mind, I guess. But we will see today.
Aside from shit that hurt, people are oppressed,
Yeah.
Power to the people.
Right.
The small wizard revolutionary currently serving in the monarchy's army, let me remind you. But yeah, that's why we do this, for complex character situations. Let us go upstairs to our devotee and oddest method of healing I have yet to experience in 5th edition. Tenta, tell us about Masaow and how this is going. Your little buddy's not doing well. Your kind of whole thing is to protect the party, to fulfill a prophecy to your god. And no offense, bro, you seem to be slipping. Your little man's not doing well.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna dwell on failure, but but I am doing my best.
Why are you bringing up old shit?
I'm Tenta. I play Masaow. He is a warlock devoted to a bizarre patron who is trying to enact his own agenda while also fulfilling the agenda given. And yeah, he's happy that Kai is alive. So mission accomplished. It doesn't have to be comfortable to get him there.
Look, man, you just have to be alive to get there, not the entire time. All right.
Yeah.
Look, my pact is very loose with the language. All right. I just have to keep you alive, not continuously, but just overall.
Yes, exactly.
Right, cool. Warlock, the contract lawyer. Love it. All right. Last and not least, our West Coast affiliate, who just got back from a lovely vacation in the Caribbean, currently plays gunslinging investigator. kind of spearheading this whole thing. Dustin, tell us about Rel.
So I am playing Rel Kadam. He is a human, dragon-marked human, and he is sort of a tinkerer and an investigator. He likes to, you know, work with little things and fiddle with things, and but also he's got like a bit of a keen mind, and he's very observant and such, and he is sort of working with the group, the Dark Lanterns, and but he has his own things that he's keeping his eye out for. But yeah,
All right.
he's also a gunslinger. He uses a gun. Pow pow.
Because it's Eberron. Pew pew. Pew pew.
Yeah. Pop pop.
Yeah. All right. That's our amazing cast back together for the first time in quite a while. Very excited. So last time, quite a little while ago, the party had recently returned from bringing Prince Burton home from New Seer. And while they were there, they met a very close friend of Prince Orgev, the Prince of Seer, the de facto king, that he had an old friend, a Countess Yasiv Oreski from Xandrar and kind of the far-flung reaches of Breland. And after they returned home, after meeting the prince, the countess, and the crown prince of Breland, they were dispatched to hijack a wagon train full of money that had supposedly belonged to the Swords of Liberty, and that by redistributing this amount of money, it would not only hurt the Swords of Liberty, who some view as essentially a terrorist organization, but also potentially help the Kingdom of Breland if they were to not only keep that money from the terrorist group, but also have it for themselves. The party traveled to a small town just north of Rote, met a tavern full of adventurers, saw what appeared to be a very secure building, and a building in which an orc swore they were the government before she ran back inside. They managed to track down the wagon train, slay the members of the Swords of Liberty, not before one of their own went down, but with his last moments, took a little sip of a potion that was on the belt of one of the members of Swords of Liberty. And as they kind of gathered themselves after the combat, they realized that the 4 people carrying or pushing the wagon had been gagged, and that they were there against their will, and they had told the party that this money that was supposedly for the Swords of Liberty was actually ransom money to secure the release of the Countess. And as far as the party knows and everything currently stands, the Swords of Liberty are still expecting this money. So with that, we will start. Let's go ahead and get the owlbear up here. We're going to start in the middle of the woods. The party has killed all the members of the Swords of Liberty. Kai managed to just get a potion in, rolled a 13 on his con save, and to adjudicate that, you will be... Oh man, you did all right. You are going to have 11 temporary hit points, and I'm going to send you something in chat.
Awesome.
So as you taste this potion, it restores 11 hit points on 2d6, so very well done there. But it also comes along with some other kind of feelings that are not intrinsic with a healing potion. You feel better. Maybe not as good as you really do, but otherwise you were okay. So you're going to, Rel and Masaow are going to see Kai kind of spring to life more so than being unconscious. The 4 chained drivers are just desperate to get away. You can see him pulling on their chains, trying to get out. And as he kind of comes to, Masaow, Rel, what do you want to do?
Was Masaow dropped, or is he?
No, you're good.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, seeing that the gnome is okay, Masaow feels better. He's all smiles, and his attention is turned to the people in chains now.
Okay. Rel, you see Kai kind of spring up and look definitely better than he has in the last couple of moments. Masaow turns to the drivers of the wagon. What would you like to do?
Are the drivers or are they're tied to the cart, right?
They're chained.
And are they gagged, or do they have anything on them? Or they...
I mean, they all were when you kind of encountered them. Everybody wondered if they were the weird sect of the Swords of Liberty that had their tongue cut out, and probably that was their intention in the way they were kind of masked and hooded, was for them to be, mistaken as that sect. And the one that you have talked to, that I'm guessing is the one that you and Masaow are right there with. You took his hood off and took his gag down. You haven't done anything with the other 3.
Do I did they state their allegiance? They're with the
no, they looked terrified. They haven't stated anything, but it seems that because they're chained to the wagon, most likely they're not there of their own volition.
Right. Okay, I'm going to can I look at the chains? Is there like manacles? Like
they are affixed around the waist, and then manacles, and then a chain between them, and then there's a chain from the thing on their waist to like a hook on the cart on the wagon.
Can I inspect it? Is there a locking mechanism? Is it like got a hinge or something?
It looks like it just has a pretty significant pin, just kind of crudely.
So I could just I can
probably.
Okay, I'll try and release them.
Okay, all of them?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Kai, you're just kind of coming to. You're feeling a little better. Like I said, 11 temporary hit points. What's that to your usual total? Is that half?
Is more than half.
Okay. Wow, you're doing great, buddy.
I have 20 HP max, so that is 11 out of 20.
Man, I got generous with 2d6 then, but I also didn't want you to trip and fall and be dead. So,
yep.
All right.
Well,
Rel's starting to kind of free them. Masaow's kind of keeping an eye on them. What do you got going on as you kind of greet the day?
Kai, he's dizzy, and he took some damage, so he's gonna kind of stumble to his feet, he doesn't really have his balance. He's just gonna kind of painfully stumble his way towards the wagon. He's gonna see Rel kind of freeing the prisoners, as I guess he would try to look in to see the gold in the wagon.
Okay.
And would he be able to open it and see in there and reach it?
The bottom of the door is probably this high to Kai standing up. It's probably essentially like a raised pickup as far as he's concerned. But I don't know that you could reach the handle. You could step up and try to open it in kind of a big motion.
He's gonna go and try to do that. As he's trying to step up, he still doesn't really have his balance, and he's just gonna like fall backwards, back on his back. He's just gonna like lay there,
Okay.
looking up in the sky.
Can I see that?
Yeah, he's just going to be right off to the side, next to the wagon.
I'm gonna pause the releasing them and go and open the back.
Okay. Hey Dave, thanks for the sub, buddy. Good to see you. So you make your way. Rel, how tall are you?
I think I'm like 5 something, 5'9" maybe.
Okay.
5'8".
Okay. So slightly like above your eye line, like about forehead high. There are these kind of slits cut in with bars on the side of the door. And if you look in, you can see what is tantamount to a huge pile of gold. If you were to kind of try to push the wagon, even to just get it rocking on its wheels and its axles, it's heavy. In fact, the gold alone weighs 1,250 pounds.
So it's legit full of gold.
Yes.
Is there anything else in there? Is it just gold?
It is just a pile of gold. It looks like they shoveled it in there. Like it's not in sacks that's leaking out.
So when this opens, it's all going to come pouring out.
A pretty significant amount, probably.
Okay. So it is full of gold.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Like probably more gold than I've ever seen before, right?
Quite a bit. 1,250 pounds worth, by the math, is about 20,000 gold pieces.
20,000 gold pieces.
That can pay for a lot of spells for Kai.
Are we? Is this the moment where we become evil? Is this an evil campaign now? Do we just? No. Just
I mean, the money is there to tempt you. I'm not gonna lie. Plus, you're stealing it on behalf of a government, which is already shady. They essentially lied to you, or at least maybe they didn't know the origin of this money. And
sure.
If the owlbear doesn't lie to me, there's nobody else around.
Kai wants this door open.
Money. You want to open the door?
He wants the door open. He just couldn't reach it, and he couldn't maintain his balance.
I'm just gonna say, like, if I open this door, there's gonna be a huge mess. Like, if it's full of gold, I can see it. Like, it's gonna take like 30 minutes to put all this gold back in there. Like, I don't know if it's necessary. Is it necessary? I don't
open it.
Why?
Open it.
That's not a good enough reason.
Guy's gonna like sit up and say, "We need it open."
Why?
Why?
You know why?
No, I don't.
These people, and he's kind of point at these student prisoners. He's like, "These people need this money, and I'm gonna be damned if that king gets this money. He doesn't deserve this money."
Well, listen,
so
but I mean,
that's take it.
Separate conversation. Listen, I mean, pouring it all on the ground here right now is not necessarily the right step at this point. I mean, what are these 4 guys gonna take this? And plus, okay, and I turn to the guy who's not gagged. I'm gonna be like, "What is your intention with this money?"
They grabbed us. They grabbed us in the night. We're from Xandrar, where the Countess lives. They grabbed us in the night, brought us here, and we're supposed to bring this money back to town to release the Countess and supposedly have the Swords of Liberty leave.
Okay. Which town?
Xandrar. Put it.
Okay, how far away is that?
It's pretty far. Here, let me see if I can put the map up. Do I have a Brelish map? I do. Okay. So let's see. All right. You are. Where's the pointer? You are somewhere around here. Okay. Not too far from Rote, just north. Xandrar is way up here. It is a it is a border town. So
Okay. Uh,
A long ways.
yeah.
So how long is that gonna take?
By
a week?
by foot longer.
2 weeks?
Probably if you go by the road.
Yeah, which I assume they were.
Probably 3 weeks or so. If they had to push it.
Okay. Okay. And it was just the 4 of you, and you do. I'm gonna ask a random question here. Do the Countess, is she just like of noble blood or something, or she's like royalty or something, or is she like does she have a station because she has power, or because she is like what's do I know anything about her?
Give me a history check.
15.
Geographically, Xandrar is very important. It's a port city. It also is on the border. It borders a non-necessarily hostile country.
Not hostile.
Non-hostile.
Okay.
But
like a trade, they have trade relations.
And quite a bit because of their port, their relation to the water, as well as the Elden Reaches kind of being one of the more like neutral kind of countries. It's not it's not involved in this kind of like power grab of the war. It's run by druids. They're just kind of, hey, druidy.
Yeah. We know druids.
So her family has run that town forever and ever and ever. The town is important, and as the scion of that house, she would be important as well.
Okay, so her family is in control, and she's
she is in control because her family has been for.
Okay. They're saying that she was kidnapped?
Yes. That she's being held ransom.
Okay. I don't trust nobody. I don't believe anything.
While Rel is talking, I is going to make another attempt at the handle.
Okay.
And when he can't reach it, he's going to get back down and he's going to start reading from his spell book. But he's having trouble reading the spell book properly.
But listen. Pouring the gold in the floor of the middle of the forest is not necessary.
Let them have it. We can take some. They can
Listen,
have some.
it sounds like their goal is to take the money somewhere else.
Well,
so you were gonna push it. You were gonna push this cart for 3 weeks, and you got captured. Why is there not more? This is a lot of gold. Where's the rest of the guard?
I don't know. They thought traveling, kind of low key was the best ordeal. Maybe there's a teleportation circle. Maybe they're gonna catch an Orion wagon. We don't know. We just got to town, loaded up this wagon, and left.
Is he lying to me? Do I get a sense that his disposition has changed now that I'm like interrogating him a little bit?
Give me an insight check, please.
22.
He seems pretty earnest and scared of his ordeal.
Can I look at the other people in the group, or is anyone else responding to my, like, does they all seem the same, or is like maybe does somebody stand out? Like, did somebody sell them out, or I'm just I'm doing my investigator thing.
They all look the same, and as the one you've been speaking to answers your questions, they all kind of nod in agreement without like a pause to kind of wonder, okay, is this just the story we're going with, or is it like an innate reaction to hearing essentially the truth?
Okay. I'm gonna, avoid potential conflict with our semi-conscious little buddy, I'm going to. I'm just gonna tell them. I'm gonna say we were under orders to come and take this money for the king. Uh, I I don't know if he knew who or why or where or what the purpose of this money was, but it seems like you have a goal to help your ladyship.
Yeah, I was trying to. I think ladies what came to what came to my head.
Yeah. I trust you. So, if your goal is to take this money to the north, do you think you're going to be able to do it and make it in time with just like pushing it like this?
Not.
Kai is going to stumble his way over next to Rel.
I'll put my hand on his shoulder and help him hold him up.
Yeah, Kai is gonna say, if they want to take it, we should help them, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. I'm about to throw up on your shoes.
Oh no! I'm pretty good at this, so here we go. Oh yeah, 24.
Yeah,
I'm quick on my feet.
Kai just like throws up, and he just like as part of throwing up, he's just gonna face plant right into it.
Oh man!
And he's passed out.
I was holding his shoulder, and then as soon as he does the retch, I kind of just like use that leverage to like put distance between him and myself. So I'm like holding him a little bit, and then he just falls over.
Kai is just asleep, passed out. His own throw up.
Oh man!
And see if you would have felt the save, I could have fallen into you.
I ask, do any of you have any particular abilities in healing, or are you like what skills do you have?
We're dock workers. They came and snatched us. They all showed up in a boat.
Where's the guards?
2 of them.
Oh man. Okay, I think that everything here is. It gives me a bad vibe, but I think at this point, once I finish releasing you, which I'll start doing again, what is your intention? Like, are you just gonna push this somewhere? It's a lot of money. Other people are gonna try and take this, you know.
If you let us go, we promise to just return home. That's all we want. We don't want this money.
Where's home?
Xandrar.
But it's gonna take you weeks to get there. You're gonna get attacked again. Roads aren't always safe.
We're not taking this money. We want no part of this.
Oh.
If you set us free, we will return home. You are here on behalf of His Majesty. You seem more than qualified. He's gonna kind of, maybe not him, but you. He's gonna look at Masaow. He's gonna look at Rel. You seem like you could handle this.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. We can.
Masaow's creepy and Kai's drunk and thrown up, so congratulations, you're the adult here. I'm talking to you.
I guess so. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna say that like by this time I've finished undoing their stuff.
Okay.
Are you gonna let him go?
Yeah. That's the kind of character I am. We're still new to this. I mean, I did what I interrogated them slightly and like questioned them, and I didn't feel it, so I'm feeling like they can go. I mean, listen, they're. I mean, we're not talking, so never mind. I won't tell you my insight. Do they like after they're untied? Do they look like they're just trying to leave?
Yeah. Once they're all done, they kind of all wait around to make sure that they're all freed, and one by one, they start to take off. 2 of them take off in this direction down the road, and then 2 of them take off almost due north, like into the woods.
One of the ones that's heading north, due north.
Uh-huh.
I lightly touch them on the arm as they're walking away, and now I'm seeing and hearing and all that through them.
Okay, good idea. Wait, can they resist that or anything, or is it just happen?
It just happens. So
okay.
now
So,
I'm looking
but
through
you can't like I could see this, right? I can see that you're not there anymore.
Well, my eyes just went all black and my mouth
Okay.
is all open and I'm slumped down.
Okay, I'm gonna
Can't move.
I'm gonna sit you down, and then I'm gonna roll Kai out of vomit and put him in the safety position, you know. So roll him on his side and everything. Okay.
Like a baby.
Hey, here you go, little buddy.
A little safety position for you, boy.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna say, well, fuck. Like, what do we do now? Oh my god! Like, we're not gonna be able to carry this or push this cart.
Just relax.
And they just left. They just split. So we're here. Can I think I looked over them, but can I just go over the corpses and see if they had anything like any keys or notes or potions or something, or like even just like an identifying emblem or anything on them?
The one who fell right here, the kind of leader of the group, they're all dressed in the same kind of blue attire, specific blue attire of the bandits you encountered on the train. They all have a little kind of cross swords pattern, somewhat embroidered on their cloak, and this one again has a piece of paper with a series of numbers, and it is signed by the Countess Yasev or Oeski.
Okay, it just has numbers on it?
Numbers.
Do they look like they're in a pattern or like a date or something like that?
Some of them are two digits,
like
and they seem to be
maybe?
They seem to be grouped. It's 6 numbers. Some of them single digits, some of them double digits, but it's 6 groups of numbers.
Okay. I will just roll that up and put it in my pouch. You said there was a count name on there. It's signed by somebody, you said, right?
The Countess.
It's signed by the Countess.
Yes.
The one that the money is supposed to be helping release from ransom or whatever.
Yes. Oops.
We didn't hear anything about the Countess being captured, and we had seen her not that long ago, right? Like a couple days. Right?
Probably at most 2 to 3 days ago.
We just saw her. I don't know. Everything is totally confusing and suspicious. My head's reeling. It's piquing my investigator, curiosity. I want to know. That's why I ask so many questions. But I'm like, okay. I'm gonna go to the back.
Yeah. Actually.
Masaow, how far does your vision thing go?
Oh yeah.
Let me double check
the
distance on that.
I want to see if the door in the back is openable. I don't want to open it. Like, I don't want to make a mess. I just want to see if it's openable.
It's got like a hinge and a latch, and just like the manacles, it's just like a pin through it. No elaborate lock or anything. How far?
Same plane of existence.
Okay.
Wow.
So quite a bit.
Okay. Stay with him. I mean, I don't know can you hear me, or you can only see and hear
I can hear you. I can hear you, but I can also hear what he's hearing and see what he's hearing.
Okay. Can you talk? Can you let me know that that's what you're doing?
I can talk.
Okay.
I've been talking to you.
Okay. Okay, cool. So I just say stick with him for like a while. We're safe here for the moment. I'm gonna keep investigating this thing, and maybe Rel can get some rest, or Kai can get some rest.
I had a thought.
Go ahead.
We should take the gold and throw it into that water right there. If we can't take
How deep is that? I'm gonna investigate this pond. How
Okay.
deep is this pond?
let's do Masaow. As you see them take off into the woods, they appear to be like sprinting. Like you were running for your life. And every once in a while, you'll see they'll stop, and you can watch them turn for a field of view, pause for a moment, and then kind of take off in another direction. It doesn't look as if they are familiar with these woods. And they just keep kind of taking off. And you can see and hear?
I can see and hear, yeah.
Okay.
They can hear me like in the very, very, very depths of their mind going.
As occasionally when it stops and the leaves aren't crunching underneath their feet or the branches aren't breaking as they run through the woods and the creepy ass laughter hits their head, you can see them kind of like jerk and shake their head. Their vision goes all kind of John Cena and scrambled. And no, stop. And then out of kind of off in the distance, you hear like the crunching of leaves, a very deep guttural roar, and just it turns real quick and you just see this gigantic like brown blur jump on him as he screams. And
do we hear this from this distance, or are they too far away now?
You can hear the screaming, not whatever is attacking it. And does it carry on after dude's dead?
Oh no.
Okay.
If he's gone, he's gone.
Okay. And then after the roar, a sense of panic, the brown blur, your sight through this individual is gone. Your eyes go back to its normal color, and your connection has been severed.
A little smile creeps on Mao's face.
All right. Rel, as you kind of look in the pond, it seems to obviously kind of get deeper as you go in, probably about 10 feet from the shore. It would seem to probably be about 4 or 5 feet deep.
Okay. That's all I need to know. I go back. I heard the scream faintly, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And also being the, kind of the woods, it's going to kind of reverberate and kind of just not really give you much of a direction from whence it came. You're just, as far as you know, you just heard a scream off in the distance.
Okay. Do I have the strength to push this thing?
I'm going to guess no.
I mean, it took 4 men to slowly move this thing.
Right.
I feel like a child, a weak man, and an old man aren't going to be able to push this thing.
We will have to do it in increments.
Ty is not a child.
I'm just the size.
He is middle-aged.
He already hates the kids and their music.
Get off my lawn!
Old man yells at Cloud.
Okay, I feel like, having heard the scream and everything, now I feel like, time's against us. I'm gonna open the fucking back of this thing and let the gold pour out.
Okay.
We'll start kicking it into the water then.
Well, what I was thinking was, let's just pile as much gold as we can feasibly carry into our packs. And let's just fucking go. Like, I'm not saying we necessarily need to keep the money, but we can't just leave it sitting here and we can't push this thing. And I don't fucking know. So
we throw it into the water and we burn the wagon.
As you open the door,
I get crushed.
A little pile of money falls. Not enough to bury your feet.
Right.
I'm not really good with like concepts of large numbers, but the answer is 180 coins, roughly spill out onto the floor. The rest of it seems pretty secure in there, and as you look in, you can see on the inside of this wagon that it's very well reinforced, despite it being very kind of like unassuming from the outside. You can see steel welded on the inside, probably one of the reasons why this whole thing is so heavy. And the money just appears to have like literally been thrown in this. Perhaps even
Jesus
literally
Christ.
with a shovel. Just
Okay. Can I just crawl up inside?
Sure.
Kick some stuff around, see if there's anything hiding in there or if there's
Okay.
anything else in there.
All right. Give me an investigations check.
Natural 20.
Ooh, very nice.
So a 23 total.
It seems to be just piles of gold. No gems, no bits of jewelry, no candlesticks, no gold platters, no nothing. It just appears to be gold coins, even as you kind of dig deep under the obviously exposed piles. As you kind of dig through it, as deep as you want to go, it's just coins on top of coins on top of coins.
My goodness. What an interesting situation to be in. Okay, I'm gonna plop my backpack on the ground on the bottom and just start filling it to the brim with gold coins.
Okay.
Like if this was the modern world, I would maybe do something different. But this is a fantasy world. Like other bandits or somebody's gonna come by, even other just townsfolk might walk by this, and it's unfeasible to move the thing. It's gonna be way too heavy. Might as well take some amount of it and do something with it. I'm also going to take Kai's bag and fill it full of gold too.
Okay.
He's gonna kind of, as you are removing the bag from him, he's gonna be just kind of snort at you and say, "What are you doing?"
Get me some gold. All right, here we go.
Get me some gold. Okay.
And I say, Masaow, like, for now, let's just take as much gold as we can, and like, oh my goodness, we can't even move it into the water, right? Like, it would take too long.
With my 8 strength, I don't think I would be much of a help.
Yeah, I'm also an 8 strength person.
We
Okay,
burned
so
the wagon.
we're not okay. Cool.
We burned the wagon, make it look like it was taken, and we never made it.
It's an option.
Smart.
But you know what? What's my character's alignment? I'm still new to this guy.
I'm very good at deception, so I could set this up to make it look like that happened.
You know what?
Trust Masaow.
I think I'm gonna do something. I'm
gonna pull a torch out, light it.
I'm gonna be altruistic.
Masaow is burning it.
Nope. And I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna say I have an idea. I have a plan, and it's a crazy one. Look, our main priority right now, besides shoveling gold into our bags, is to take care of Kai. Can Kai stand on his own 2 feet? I'm gonna prop him up.
I will kind of like shakily.
Are you
stand there.
drunk? Actually, wait. Yeah, like I'm looking to his eyes. Is he fine? Is he poisoned or something?
Give me an insight check.
Another
Let's
natural
just say
20.
there was something
25.
special in that potion.
It does look
Was
like
fermented, yeah.
it. Out of all the things that he could be, and all of the signs that you have seen, there is a good chance that he could be drunk. Like a very good chance.
Okay, so the potion he drank made him drunk. Is the natural conclusion?
And healed him. It could do 2 things.
Fair enough.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna be like, hey, buddy, you got a sack full of coins. We need to go. Can you follow me? Are you gonna be okay? How drunk? Are we talking like really drunk, or are we talking like drunk.
He's probably going to start to feel better between the kind of interrogation, the money, Masaow probably watching dude run for a good couple of minutes. He's going to be on the uptick to
How
sobriety.
far away was the tavern? It wasn't that far, right?
It's about,
we kind of caught.
It's about 4 hours.
4 hours. Yeah, I mean, this is okay. I mean,
yeah, they left before dawn from town. You left just not too long after dawn, but you moved with the quickness, and they had to move that big ass wagon.
Oh man, I mean, I have an option to do something, but I mean that it's what it's for. But man, it would hurt. It'd be so sad. Okay, is there? The thing is, I don't know if we're gonna come back to this or if we're just.
We will never come back. We will never come back. We're going to burn
Okay, okay.
it.
Because I could put like I could track the wagon so that we would know where it is. But if somebody takes it or something, I don't know if like that doesn't mean much to us. Anyone could come and take it. I don't know what value. And plus, by the time we track down them, they might have just taken all the money and spent it. So I don't. Okay, you know what? I'm overthinking everything.
A little bit of math. I figure, if a gold coin is about 0.76 inches in width, so like the size of a quarter, and like a quarter inch thick, then in a medium-sized backpack, which would be able to hold something like
Thank you.
I'm sure it's full of other stuff.
Thank you. I didn't want to have to do this math, so I appreciate it.
Right, but our bags are full of stuff, right? Like I'm sure your bag's not empty, right?
Bitch, I'm dumping my purse out and I'm filling it with money.
But
Fuck that chapstick.
Fair
how
enough.
many liters do you think we can hold in a single backpack?
I'm going to burn it.
3 or 4?
No, don't burn it.
I will
3 or
burn it.
4.
This is senseless.
So
No. What I was gonna say was, is we head back to the tavern with as much gold as we can carry, and then we just tell them that there's a big thing full of gold here, and just let the people take it.
You are a fool. That is a bad idea.
So, if there's between the 3 of us,
Yeah.
we can hold 10 liters total, which is about 610 cubic inches,
Okay, but we're all weak. We're all.
which is 4,884 gold coins.
All between
4,000.
divided by the 3 of you, so 1,600 change.
Oh no, it's like 5,000 total given those parameters.
5,000 gold pieces.
Yes.
Okay, but let's
That's
be
4.
realistic.
That's
and
about
minus-
400. I know that's about 200 some pounds.
Right, but let's
between
also
all
be
of you.
realistic of the fact that none of us are very strong. All of us are
Don't
carrying
even
gear
want
and
that.
equipment, and you're drunk and weak.
Ouch.
So
Kai is very strong. He has 8 strength. Okay, that's plus 8.
I was talking more about your vitality.
all of you have a -1 to your strength.
Yes.
Yes, all of us.
Yeah. So I don't know
The
Ian,
dumb
how
scat
much
party.
gold do you want to say that we theoretically piled into our bags?
I was going to do the math later.
Okay.
But
if it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter then.
I mean, it will. It's a significant amount, and then if
Yes.
you go back to town, a reasonable amount. I was just going to make the determination. Well, that's probably everything that you grabbed, or an insignificant amount. Which
'Cause we also have to
a handful
travel,
of
so-
a handful of gold is like 30 pieces. That's pretty significant.
Yeah.
But in the
Yeah.
grand scheme of versus 5,000, they're like, look, man, I'm not keeping track of that. That's 8
Okay.
nickels out of my pocket.
Okay. I mean, we're also trying to not travel super overburdened and everything. I know encumberment sucks for like. It's just math for your Dungeons and Dragons. Everyone hates it, even though
You
kind
cannot
of-
fast.
that's-
You cannot fast travel.
Yeah, it's like
Let's figure out what we're
necessary,
gonna
but-
do with this thing, because
Math
I'm
is
happy with the plan.
Okay, well, I said what I think we should do.
Yeah, and I disagree.
Because, well, I mean, what are you gonna do? Burn it? I mean, the gold coins aren't gonna melt in the fire that's caused by this little
I'm not
thing.
trying to make slag. I'm not trying to make one giant gold coin for us to roll down the hill.
No. I know that. I'm just saying, what value is there to burning it and then other people just coming and taking the money or just leaving it?
Masaow is like, look at the bodies, look at the blood, look at
Right.
the coins.
Uh-huh.
We position the bodies, we burn the cart, we make it look like we were never here and that it was attacked prior to our arrival. You
Okay.
might learn deception. Otherwise,
Uh,
you would please the worm god.
I mean, I mean,
Drag the bodies, lay them out, make them look like they were killed defending the wagon.
I mean, I mean, we're making the assumption that someone's gonna come here and investigate this like thoroughly.
Of course, someone will. The scent of gold is on every dwarf's nose.
Listen, but but I think that anyone who comes to investigate this is gonna be a little bit more savvy than to not notice all the
No.
dragged bodies and
People are
stuff.
stupid. No one will think anything but what we think they should think. People are stupid.
If we burn this and pile up all the bodies and stuff,
Yes.
won't it look exactly the same as it already does? Except for it's just burnt.
It will raise more questions than just a lonely cart in the middle of nowhere. It will look ransacked. It will look burnt. It will look disturbed.
Right, but it's a cart full of gold. Why would somebody burn it and leave the gold? That would make it look like a small group of people who couldn't carry it all and then wanted to destroy. I don't know.
You are perceiving that because you have the knowledge to perceive
I
that.
suppose I do. Look, I'm not going to stop you from burning it, but I'm not. I don't feel the need to do this.
You let Masaow take care of the heralds.
Uh-huh.
And Masao's gonna start dragging all the bodies and sticking them full of holes and spraying blood all over the area.
Jesus.
Okay.
Kai is going to kind of drunkenly walk to the back out of this way real quick. Sorry to cut you off. He's gonna take his wand and he's just gonna be like, Incendio. Incendio. And it's like nothing's gonna be happening. He's just gonna like be trying to like start a fire, but he hadn't like prepared the spell or anything. So
he's just saying the words.
yeah, just saying the words, but no materials. And he's like sitting there wondering why it's not working.
Random question. Okay.
It is almost done.
What
The
does
picture is almost painted.
How does Sensor's floating disc work? I don't have the spell.
It holds I think 10 pounds. It's 3 feet across. I believe the wording is it's 3 feet across. It
can hold up to 500 pounds.
Is it?
Actually? Yeah.
Okay.
The problem is it doesn't last very long.
1 hour.
Yeah, but I mean, it sounds like the closest town is 4 hours away. So
You'll need
There's a
4
lot of first level spells to be used.
I can only do it once.
Oh.
I can do it once per long rest.
The limitations of your god.
Of my what?
Your god.
I don't have a god.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, anyways, I mean, I won't waste my time doing that. I mean, I'll just move.
Just carry what you can carry and do not worry.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it.
I will paint the picture. I will make it look right. So that's what I do. I make it look just like a horrible scene, like these people were just escorting this wagon when they got.
How long is this taking? Can I keep my eye out? Because somebody did get attacked, and I heard a scream.
Sure.
Oh, that was just bear.
I mean, you think?
Oh no, I know. He was very brown.
As
we live in a world of magic, it could have been anything.
Masaow begins to kind of paint the bodies and stage it to look like a robbery, which it kind of was. And
that wasn't the intention.
Lights a torch. Off on the kind of north end of the road, nope, wrong thing. Up in this direction. You hear what sounds like whistling of a happy little tune as it begins to get closer.
Oh, Jesus. Can I see? How
After
far along are we on this? Sorry, is it like, I don't know. Okay, go on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So almost 100 feet. The road kind of curves around a big tree, and as it does so, you see a little white-haired gnome seated about 5 feet off the ground on the front of this wagon, very similar to the ones you are about to torch. But it has no beasts of burden pulling it. It has no slaves chained to it. But yet it sits about 2 feet off the ground with a little gnome in its kind of driver's seat, sitting there whistling a happy tune as it comes down the road.
Oh man, oh, this is no good.
And
Oh,
I'm
jeez.
gonna move them
We should have just
separately.
left.
And
I
as
just
it
wanted to leave.
as it gets closer, he kind of sees you standing there. Ah, you got some trouble with your wagon?
Does he not see all the bodies? I'm pointing my gun at him.
Don't worry about the bodies until
Whoa.
he brings it.
Whoa,
Okay,
whoa,
no,
whoa.
I don't. I'm sorry. That was myself. I didn't say don't
Okay.
see the bodies. Sorry, that was
Yeah.
inner dialogue
Yes.
spoken out loud. I'm holding
Oh.
my gun aloft. Is he
Meaning-
armed? Is he by himself?
He is by himself. He is significantly older, gray hair. May even call it white. Sits there, big bushy mustache. Just kind of riding on what appears to be this wagon with no wheels, no beast of burden, yet it moves as he sits on top of it and he looks around. Oh, looks like you got some problems with your wagon. Is everything all right?
If he starts to cast the spell, I will shoot my gun.
Okay.
That's that. I'm saying that as like a ready action. That's my natural instinct in my years of like doing this guy. I'm like, if he's a old man, probably not strong, but if he's a spellcaster, no chances.
Okay.
I'm gonna non-lethally shoot him though.
Okay.
Like I'm not gonna try and shoot him in the face or something. I'm just gonna
I'm gonna go up and start
shoot him in the
talking
arm.
to him.
All right.
I mean, I'm just gonna position myself here.
I was going to find a place on the ground to lay down.
Just in the middle of the road.
Yeah, he's just gonna
Jesus.
lay down. Like he's dizzy, his head hurts.
Oh man.
He's conscious, he's listening, but he just doesn't want to stand right now.
Shh, y'all, quiet. So as he kind of pulls up, you can see him kind of look. He is short after all, trying to
Is
kind
he?
Don't worry about this. I got this.
of.
I am worried. I don't like what you like. He's either good and innocent or bad and trouble, and we don't know yet. So we need to determine that.
All right.
What?
Go ahead and oh. Okay, so Masaow is gonna walk over to him and stick his hand out like he's trying to shake his hand. And his hand will
Jesus.
start to glow a little bit yellow. Welcome, traveler, fellow traveler. Sticks his hand out.
Okay. Like reaches his hand out.
The second I touch, he now thinks that we are friends. That
Okay.
we are best friends. That we've been best friends our whole lives.
It has been so long since I've seen you. What are the chances of me running into you out on this road? What seems to be the trouble with your wagon, old friend?
Jesus.
Oh, nothing. We merely have a rut in the road. You should get going before it turns into the night's time.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna walk over. It's gonna be like, how does your wagon move?
Kind of.
He's my friend, not your friend. You're a stranger to him.
He sits up,
Okay, it doesn't matter. I still ask the
pulls
question.
down a little like kind of thing, and on it you notice the insignia for House Orion. And given his position, he is most likely a trade caravan driver. So this wagon most likely will have been provided to him by the Dragon Marked House.
The House Orion is the mark of transportation?
Sending?
Sending?
It's they do the airships and the
Right. In the train.
Yes.
Okay.
We have 1 minute to get this guy the hell away from us.
Well,
you should go. I have it covered, old friend. I am your old friend.
All right, if you're sure.
oh man,
I was gonna be heading to town. Hopefully, if you guys are going that way, I'll see you there.
All right. Well, you should go. You should. I'm gonna start kind of shooshing him and covering everything up with my robes, kind of trying to obscure everything. Yes,
Jesus.
You should go.
As he goes by, can I see into his cart?
Yeah.
What do I see?
It's almost the same layout of the cart, so it's going to have two big window slits. It also appears to be moving quite effortlessly. Doesn't seem to kind of shift like it's heavy. And as best you can tell, there's nothing tall enough or nothing piled up high enough for you to be able to see it through the little windows from the outside.
Can I be ridiculous and since he's while it's going in, I'm behind it. Can I just jump up and
Sure. You're gonna jump. It's gonna kind of dip down under your weight, and as you look inside, it appears to be empty.
Oh jeez, this is all bad. Everything's bad. Okay. I mean, as he goes by, I'm gonna whisper or just keep a low voice and talk to Masaow. I'm if it only lasts a minute, he's gonna notice before he gets very far.
Don't worry.
I'm worried. Okay, I'm gonna go up to this cart.
You are always worried.
Yes. I'm gonna go up to this cart. Can I investigate and see if there's a mechanism that can make it drive on its own?
Yeah. Give me an investigations check. What else?
And I am a house of making, sort of I'm gifted with
Sure.
If it
things,
worked,
mechanisms and stuff like that.
Buggy on out of here.
Let's see. Let me read the actual thing. It says, nope. Where is it? Racial features. Yeah. When you make an Arcana check or an ability check, involving artisans' tools, you can add a D4 to the roll. I guess I'm not really using any artisan tools. Okay, that's fine. What am I rolling?
I'll still give you advantage on an investigations check. Just I understand that you would probably be able to.
If it's magically enchanted or something that's my forte. A magically enchanted mechanism or something.
Okay.
Anyways, here we go.
Give me an Arcana or whichever one.
Oh wait, which one was I doing? I did investigation.
Okay.
I got 22.
It doesn't appear as if there is any kind of. You would notice in the magically enchanted one, there is a glowing red crystal that sits pretty prominently right next to where the gnome driver sits. This one appears to be essentially the analog version. There's no mount for the bright red crystal. This one appears to be much more of a security, built strong, carry things kind of version of the wagon.
Okay. We've been hanging around here too long, I think. I don't like it. I don't like anything.
You think?
Well, I wanted to leave and you wanted to set up a scene and let's go.
You wanted to leave without doing anything.
I took the gold, or I took some gold. Yeah, do nothing. Who cares?
Okay.
Kai
I
is just
put
gonna
my-
like cover
I'm gonna,
his
like,
ears
I'm
and
gonna
just
like half scoop, half help Kai walk, and aren't we going in the same direction this guy's going? It's gonna be awkward.
Don't have to.
Well, where are we gonna go? Okay, I'm gonna lead us
We can go north
into
where these guys were gonna go.
north,
Yeah.
like towards uh Xandar, but isn't that like forever away?
All that matters is that the heralds live.
You know, you're being very confrontational with the heralds today. I have to say that.
But
Uh,
you're alive.
okay. I'm bad at this stuff personally. Um,
Well, then let me
not
take it over.
characterly.
Don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It's just I don't know. For the moment, let's just get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's just funsies.
Yeah,
Let's
go.
head north the opposite way that we came from.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't
Maybe
like
we
the
could
guy in the
curve
cart.
around and head home another direction.
Okay, so I'm helping Kai walk this direction.
Okay. You gonna light it up?
Yeah.
Okay. It slowly begins to burn. You can see that this is, doused with a flame retardant thing for all of the obvious reasons. Eventually, it kind of catches. Thick black smoke starts to billow into the sky, giving off a pretty noxious smell. That's pretty overpowering as the kind of fire slowly gets going. And then you guys are going to dipsy-do up the road?
We're also, I'm gonna, as Masaow kind of catches up, I'm gonna just say, aren't we walking in the direction of the bear?
Oh,
We need to be careful. I don't want to get eaten by a bear.
don't worry. It is recently eaten.
Fair enough. It might be hungry still, though. You know, bears are big.
Wasn't
I'm gonna keep my eyes very alert, but also I'm trying to find a place that we could maybe set up a small camp and rest, because I assume it's late afternoon or something.
It's getting there probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Is it the fall?
No, isn't it summer?
It's the equivalent of February. It's like February. It's like February
winter.
20. It's like February 22nd. Breland is almost tropical though, so it's not. It is not cold by any stretch.
Oh, okay.
But,
Okay. So
if bears still hibernate-
it's like Florida cold. Ooh, it's 22. Or sorry, I speak non-American. It's 72 degree. I don't know.
Yeah, 50 is enough for Florida to freak out.
Yeah.
If they still hibernate, they may be a little extra hungry. So.
Do you
Okay.
have a flame token? I thought I did.
Yeah, I guess just for now, I will keep my eyes open for tracks or animals or other nasties.
Fire.
No, geez, it's on fire.
Um,
And just walk at a steady pace. That we're not running or anything.
And don't worry, I'm recanting all kinds of stories that are nonsensical but slightly whimsical for your entertainment as we walk down the road.
Great.
all right.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess I'll just make an offhand mark. I'm like, well, Kai, you got lots of gold now. Maybe we can hire a mercenary to help protect us, so we stop getting our ass beat, huh?
Yeah, that would be nice.
Maybe somebody who can heal as well.
Yeah,
You know.
anything to help, because this isn't going too well.
No, we kind of suck.
I'm afraid that I'm not gonna complete my goal if we continue this way.
We are doing fine.
Yeah. We're fine.
Highest will one day come back. Do
We'll
not worry.
we
Our goals are in line.
so at this point, we're kind of
We're
deviating from our intended path, so to speak.
Yeah. What do we care?
No, I mean, well,
We got to do the living. The king sends us to places. We got to live through it.
can I? Hmm. Do we carry symbols, don't we? Marks.
Yep.
Like a
Marks
badge.
of the Dark Lantern.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, I mean, I can take out my tinkerer's tools and
The marks.
invest. Yeah, can I? Okay, priorities. Can we find a place to rest?
Okay.
I mean, we need to rest. Kai needs some health. Like, we need to, yeah. So that would be our first priority. We're gonna keep marching along the road, due north, or whatever direction that was, north.
Sure.
It looks like this is like northeast,
Yeah.
right? Like we're
It's
near where Woodhelm is?
you're going to be cutting through the Dragonwood. The roads on the map are going to be like the major established ones.
Okay,
so
we're not
your road,
on that road.
It's not on that road, but you're going to
Okay.
be like essentially like in between like the R and the E in Breland.
Okay, so we're in the Dragonwood right now.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So let's just follow this. We're gonna follow this road and find a nook or a cranny or something, a dell that we can like set up a small camp in.
Okay. You walk a little bit. You probably, I don't know, an hour, 45 minutes. The road is not just this one road. There's, these kind of little offshoots. Eventually, you kind of find one far enough off the main road to not be able to be seen through all the kind of forestry and vegetation, but also still close enough that you could hear anything on it that would be making noise.
Kai can now walk by himself. He's just got like a hangover at this point.
Okay.
Um,
I'll point it out. I'll be like, okay, I think we should set up camp here for the night.
As you set up camp, I think this will be a good time for us to take our little mid-show break.
Perfect timing.
It's 8:30. We're gonna try to take about a 10-minute break real quick. We will come right back as the party, having just set the ransom money on fire and cheesing it out of there, is going to kind of be fugitives hiding in the Dragonwood, in open disobedience to Torfin, at least as we sit right now. So yeah, it is 8:29. We'll try to take like a 10-minute break. To everybody watching, thank you so much. To our good friend Hey Wilson, Dave, as always, thank you for the sub. To my players, I've missed you guys. I'm glad we are all back. And yeah, stick around for the break, and we will be right back in just a little bit. Hope to see you on the other side. All right, so we are back. Thank you for watching while we tune in to do nerd math inside of pretend nerd math. We are back from our break. The party, I'm gonna go ahead and say that I don't think this is what Torfin had in mind, and we'll leave it at that. They slayed the Swords of Liberty members. They made off with some gold for themselves and set the cart on fire, headed north along the road, set off on the side of the road, and took a short rest, which in our campaign is 8 hours, which would bring them till about 2 in the morning. Darkness has settled in. Nothing has passed along the road that you've heard since you kind of set off and set to the side. It's just been eerily quiet as nighttime has set in. Have you set a fire or anything as it got dark? It's gonna be cool, not cold. Probably in the 40s Fahrenheit as it gets dark.
That's not bad. I'll start the fire.
Okay.
I'll pile it all up and
All right, so a little fire is set. Kind of smoke. The smell of burning wood fills the kind of area. You made your way far enough that the big, huge plume of black smoke from the burning wagon could barely be seen. You made it a good little way. As nighttime has set in, you have lost track on whether it's still burning. You don't see like a kind of glow through the treetops from far away, so you're not sure, and you can't see the smoke against the darkness of the sky. But yeah, nothing comes by. It seems peacefully quiet as you sit there by the fire. As everybody sits by the fire with a big pack of money, what is everybody doing? Kai, your negative effects of your potion have subsided with your short rest. So you're feeling better?
Yeah, Kai, at this point, his memory is very spotty as to what all happened. So he's trying to remember anything he may have said or done during it. And he's just upset because he doesn't have prestidigitation. Can't pronounce that. He doesn't have that prepared. So he is sitting there with a smell of vomit on him.
Oh.
And he's kind of frustrated. He's going to, kind of hold his rock and just kind of like, just take some deep breaths as he sits there. He has had a rough couple of weeks.
That's a very relatable state of being, by the way.
Yeah, dude. Like I really, I did genuinely feel that.
Yeah, absolutely.
The frustration, and you can't change spells on a short rest, right?
Correct.
Okay, sorry, buddy.
Yep. He's stuck with it.
I've been there, but at least you're not like on the bus surrounded by like strangers. So I guess you got that going for you. The night kind of settles in. What's Kai thinking about this money that he wasn't really awake for when it was kind of grabbed on his behalf?
So he's certainly happy that the king doesn't have it, and they do have a pretty good alibi. Well, we couldn't push the wagon by ourselves, so we just took as much as we could, so that if they do get in trouble, and they could always shave some off. Like, there's no way to tell, how much they have or don't have unless there's some sort of like divination at play. So Kai thinks it's a pretty low risk, high reward plan. And so while it may not have been his first choice, he is not too upset about the results. He's got a backpack full of gold that could help him in the future, and he's not dead. So
There you go. Look at the bright side. All right.
yeah.
Masaow, you've set up. You've burned the wagon. You two have a bag full of money. As you sit there and even in your bizarre kind of twisted way, feel for Kai, poor little guy covered in like dried little chunks, just smelling like rotten milk. You start the fire that everybody sits around, and then what's going through your head as you kind of sit there on this quiet evening resting?
It's chocolate milk, not just milk.
Okay,
So I only takes chocolate milk. Choco Milko.
I mean, I understand that for sure. Again, relatable. So Masao's sitting on his bag of money, like facing away from the fire, and with his head like crooked back and his eyes are glowing, and he's kind of muttering to himself. He's kind of half in and out of consultating with his patron. He's thinking about, or he's talking to his patron about what he should be spending his gold on. And so far, it seems that maybe like a new robe seems to be somewhere in the ethereal somewhere for him.
All right.
He's not sure.
New threads. Got it. All right. Rel, you seem to be quick to grab the plan of grab as much as you can and get out of there. You now have a big bag full of money. The night has settled in. You haven't seen anybody come or go to either investigate the burning wagon or in pursuit of you, Masaow, and Kai. What's going on? What are you thinking about with the money?
I don't know. I mean, my instinct is that I really, really need the money, but it's not my money. Uh, I'm thinking about, we just saw the Countess, and now she's apparently kidnapped, and everything just not quite lining up. Yeah, I'm just kind of like, I'm just gonna pull out my bag with all the gold in it, and I don't know, I'm just gonna like play around with it. Can I look at one of the coins? Is there any like indentations on it? Like, has it got any markings?
Kind of normal wear and tear of like coins. Gold is kind of a soft metal, so it will occasionally have like a little groove. Maybe something heavy kind of sat on it and just, maybe warped it ever so. They're not all perfectly round, probably from, falling on the edge of it. But from your experience, they don't seem to be any different than any other gold coins you've ever held. Just perhaps the most you've ever held at one time.
Are they marked like with the king's face or anything like that? Or
they are the national coinage of
okay.
Brayland.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess just like, is it is it real? I just like, I guess I just like hold it in my hands. I'm like, oh, yeah. I guess I'm just gonna look over and see if, Kai is feeling better. And just kind of think like, our situation's a little rough. I'm not sure. Like, we're doing okay, but I feel like we need help. We're not we're a bunch of gifted fellas here, but I feel like we're missing some key elements. So I'm just thinking thoughts like that.
Oh, thinking them. I thought you said. Okay, gotcha.
Yep. No, I didn't say anything. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I have thoughts of like, are we going back to the king or like to, report in, or are we just running? Oh, and then I remember I have the Dark Lantern emblem thing. I pull it out. Can I pull my tinkerer's tools, which I'm proficient with, and just like investigate it? Is it magical in nature? Is it potentially a tracking device? Is there any elements to it that that's where my mind would go.
Yeah, give me what, investigation or what, tinker's tools?
If it's I guess when I'm using them to make an arcana check, so I guess I'm checking to see if there's any magic to it.
Okay.
So arcana?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. It says under racial, it says if you make an arcana check or an ability check involving artisan tools. Oh, so either or. So yeah, do you want me to do an arcana check?
Yes.
Okay. And then I get to add a d4. D4. 14 total.
It doesn't give off any magic, like discernible magic, much less like a distinct type. It seems that its existence is its power, that by showing it, people who are aware of what it is and what it means, that is its power, is what it can grant you.
It's Is it metal?
It is metal.
Okay.
It's
And
a
so it's just like a symbol,
it's a
like something you might put on your jacket, right?
yes. You can, if you would like to tell everybody in the room that you are.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I said, it's essentially kind of a badge. You can wear it if you want to flash it and flex on everybody, or you could just kind of, to like one person if you needed to, provided they know what it is.
Uh, I look at it with a bit of disdain. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this thing. For now, I just put it back in my pocket. But um, I guess I'll stand up and just say, if anyone wants to rest, I'll do the first watch. I'm doing okay here.
I will take all 3 watches to make sure that the heralds are safe.
All right.
Oh, I mean, how many hit points do you have? I basically didn't get hit. I'm totally fine.
Um,
Here, I just put my hand on your shoulder, and I'll just say, I'll just get the first one. You can do the ones after that. I'm definitely fine, and I've got a keen eye, so I'll let you guys know if anything's up.
That works. Let's do that because I do need some hit points back.
Yeah, okay. And so
look at it. I
I'll
don't
keep
feel
it.
so
I'll
good.
keep an eye out.
All right. Everybody kind of goes about their day. Kai's still upset about his spell choices for the morning. Look, man, as somebody who played a wizard, totally get it. You're like, I won't need this today. And then, of course, you absolutely need it. You're like, I've had this prepared this entire campaign. This is the first day. I was like, nah, I'm not going to need it. And then, trust me, I know that's how it went.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
and that's the thing, prestidigitation is one of the, most generally useful ones.
I had it prepared every single day just because I'd use the shit out of it for everything.
Yeah.
So as you kind of sit there, Kai regretful of his spell choices, Masaow conversing with his patron. The night just seems very settled, quiet. It is still kind of, I guess, getting to the tail end of winter by Brelish standards, so it's a little chilly. Not a lot of like insects and fireflies, mosquitoes, none of that. And it is just eerily quiet, aside from Kai kind of working out his hangover, Masaow muttering to himself, and the crackle of the fire. You don't hear or see anything come or go. Even the faint smell of the kind of burning wagon that permeated the entire woods seems to have gone. And it is just silent.
Wow, that's crazy. Masaow kind of snaps out of it a little bit and turns his head all the way around backwards to stare at these guys.
Like a fucking owl?
Yeah, like an owl.
Got it. Okay.
Only it's a little bit creaky sounding. And he...
All right.
So, he's looking them both in the eyes. He's saying, so, plans for the morning, Harold?
We need to make it to some town as soon as possible. The longer we sit out here in the wild, the less safe it is, the more risky it is.
It smells nice, though, doesn't it?
Maybe for you, you're not covered in your own vomit.
Oh, yes. That is unfortunate.
I would be very glad to get a change of clothes at the earliest possible opportunity.
Yes, I bet. I don't see if I have any extra clothes on me.
They'd probably be a little large for.
Like just like a cape would probably do him. You tie him like a cape, like a toga. You just this little like toga wearing gnome, roaming through the woods.
That's so funny. I got a water skin you could cut into a vest.
Eh.
Little weird
He'll just kind of sulk about it and just go,
mood.
yeah. He's emo Kai.
Okay. But yeah, enough time has passed, quiet, still, in the night in the forest, that you feel revitalized. You've gotten back the health that you're going to get, your spell slots, as such. And so it would be about 2 a.m. After an 8-hour short rest. It's deep in the middle of the night. There is no light between the tree's canopy and the cloudy night, so it is very dark. The fire, gives enough light out for you to see, whatever the rule is. I think it's 50 feet of dim light, or of bright light, and then dim light, and then darkness. But of course, anybody from a much further distance could also see you. So after your rest, you're gonna break camp, just leave it, kind of make it seem like nobody was there, and kind of break it down.
Leave it as is.
All right.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, just
Just walk away from it.
Okay.
I kick some dirt onto the fire or whatever, and
All right.
Yeah, we don't have any obligation to do anything with it.
Okay.
lots of people in the world,
Camp.
camp in the woods in this world. So yeah, whatever.
Okay. You make your way back to the road. It runs more or less north and south for the most part. North will take you deeper into the Dragonwood, eventually coming out on the trade road, kind of a bypass. Essentially, you would kind of cut through here this way if you were to continue on that path. Or if you were to cut back this way, you would end up back in the town where you started, and near the teleportation circle, as best you could remember, that brought you out here in the first place. What would you like to do? Where are you guys going to go? What's the plan? You got a shit ton of money. Potentially a hard time explaining where it came from.
Yeah.
I
There
mean,
is
we're adventurers. I don't know. I turn to the group. It's just the three of us, and I say, all right. Things didn't quite go as planned. What is our new plan?
What I'm thinking may be a good idea. We know where those people were supposed to deliver this money to.
Uh-huh.
What if we took this opportunity to try to spy and see if we can gather some information about the Swords of Liberty?
Okay. What do you think, Masaow?
Interesting idea. You say we deliver it? We get the money delivered there? Is that what you think?
Well, I doubt we could push that wagon, but if we could gain their trust by directing them to where the wagon was, or even if that's not the case, we know where the money was supposed to go. If we can find them and follow them without them seeing us, we have both opportunities available to us. We could spy on them without their knowing, or we could try to gain their trust and infiltrate their ranks.
Okay.
That's a good idea. We could hire people from the nearby towns to help us carry this gold back.
That is very true. I'm sure they would like
The
to make
cart is destroyed now, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the cart's destroyed, but at least the scene is set. When we show up, we can be like, "Oh my god!"
Well,
Okay.
surely
Well,
there's a cart in town that we could rent.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Okay. I guess my question is, we were supposed to collect this money and bring it to the king.
Right. That
Is
probably.
that our goal or not?
What do you think the king's going to be more happy about? The mitigation of a terrorist organization that constantly attempts to take the lives of the nobility, or the gold that can be obtained. A king has rule over this kingdom, and he can get this gold easily back.
Yeah, I meant more just like, we could go and do this thing, but it's just the three of us. I don't know how much impact we're going to have onto what might be a big terrorist organization with not much of a lead to go on. And also, we're we're sort of supposed to follow orders and just like bring this money back. So wouldn't it be more prudent to just return and tell them, hey, we brought this gold. The rest of the gold is there. We're we weren't capable of carrying it all or something. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm conflicted about what our objective was.
So I will say, given that there was a wagon full of gold and that we only have 3 backpacks full of gold, which is barely
It's a
any,
small amount
very small amount. I
of what
think
was there.
I think the mission is a failure. By the time we can alert someone, that gold will have been taken by any passerbys that follow through,
Right.
pass through. And so we have failed the mission already, but
Uh-huh.
we have an opportunity to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Number one, take care of the Swords of Liberty. And number two, we can elevate our status. This gold that we have, it can go a long way in helping us as adventurers. And if we take down the Swords of Liberty, this small amount of gold is nothing. We failed the mission already, is what I'm saying.
No reason not to keep it.
Yeah. I mean,
I guess I'm saying
I mean,
that
I get that. Yeah.
if we do this, we're kind of
Are you not
being,
sympathetic?
huh?
I said, are you not sympathetic to the Swords of Liberty?
me?
Yeah.
So I believe that the Swords of Liberty fight for a noble cause. I think that they are misguided. While they seek the end of the monarchy, which is totally understandable, the kings and queens of the past 100 years caused a war out of their greed, their power hungry need to rule everyone. So I understand why the Swords of Liberty want to end the monarchy, but that gives them no excuse for trying to murder innocent children. It gives them no excuse for their nationalistic, fascist ideas of wanting to have complete control. I believe most of the people who fight for the Swords of Liberty genuinely fight for good causes. But what this group has done, if they gain power, there will be much more hell to pay than just the bad part of their ideas. The second the king falls and this nation goes into disarray, what do you think Drone is going to do? What do you think Onder's going to do? What's Thrain going to do? It'll be the last war all over again. And that's something that cannot come to pass. The Swords of Liberty cannot throw this nation, cannot put them in that sort of weakness.
Well, I don't know what war you're talking about, but if you want to take them all out, we can do that.
So
I guess
there are ways.
we could. So we have.
Poison.
I guess the real question is: are we deciding to forgo our standing and relationship with the king in the kingdom?
We are choosing to strain it for a new goal.
Because while like these seem to be two separate ideas, we have like the people that we work for and the powers and stuff that they've granted to us, and we have this terrorist group that have been doing some bad things but that have worthwhile intentions, or at least like sympathetic ones. So we kind of have to decide, do we want to become freedom fighters? Are we going there, like maybe what's the solution? Are we going to go there and like maybe if the problem is leadership or something like that, then maybe that's a specific issue we can tackle. I guess the problem is we don't really know enough about them outside of some of the actions they've taken. They haven't been good, so it's pretty easy to judge that. But as you pointed out, that there's things aren't great here in the kingdom. So
Well, Kai is proposing that we assault them. Is that correct?
So it need not lead to the destruction of the Swords of Liberty per se, but as Rel was pointing out, there's a huge issue with their leadership. If we could, at the very least, ensure that people who have not selfish intentions be the leaders of the Swords of Liberty, people who wouldn't assassinate children in their rooms for simply being born of noble blood, then perhaps the Swords of Liberty could bring about change through Braylon without causing a war to break out amongst all the nations.
What if the leadership, we don't know enough about them or their leaders or leader or whatever to really make, like, what if their leader is actually good and they're just losing control of the group perhaps? Maybe
Then
there's a
maybe they
faction
need some
splinter
help.
group. Yeah, well, I guess I'm saying is we don't know who or where they are really. We don't know where they operate out of, do we?
There's only one way to find out.
I suppose.
You're only.
But if we pursue this path, we might be, very likely will be, going against the wishes of the people we work for.
Not directly.
Potentially. It depends on how they view it, correct? So there's a chance that we could be making enemies by pursuing this path, depending on how we decide to go about it, because outside of absolutely destroying them, which I'm pretty sure is the king's/kingdom stance on dealing with that group,
Yes.
then
I'm sure that the king, his number one priority would be destroying the Swords of Liberty.
Mhm.
However,
which we
it
can.
does bring me to question. There's a lot of propaganda when the citizens of the nation are in fear of the terrorist organization.
Oh shit! I just had an idea. We could frame. We could
Uh-huh.
frame these guys to make it look like they were doing the deed, trying to take. Try and maybe make it look like these dudes were the ones that attacked the wagon and took the gold.
I see what you're saying. I think I mean it's a good idea. I think it's not really the most important, like it's not that concerning unless it does become like unless somebody does come interrogating us. But I think at this point, since the money theoretically belonged to the Countess, and assuming the Countess isn't dead or captured or does get freed, then it's likely her group of people that are going to come questioning us about the money if they ever somehow found out that we were involved.
And again, how many people are going to walk by and fill their backpacks with
Right.
gold?
And also, like, nobody knows that we found that cart and that we got any gold. I mean,
Yeah.
unless we flaunt it around or something. So, like you kind of pointed out earlier, we can just say that we never found it or whatever.
Yes, deception.
Yeah. But I don't think that's the top priority. I think our top, or like, I don't think it's a big concern unless it does become one. I think the concern now is our aims. Like, what's our goal? I, I want to stick together as a group. We haven't been together long, but I do trust you guys at least for now. But if we choose a path, I think no matter what we do, we're going to be making some enemies. So we have to commit to whatever path we decide to take. Is what I guess the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
Well, to me, I feel like the path is simple. We failed this mission, and I believe that the punishment for the mission would
Might
be worse.
severe. Yeah.
It could be severe. Some of us were basically jailed for crimes, and this was we're serving our what's it called?
Sentence.
Our sentence, serving the military.
So what you're saying, like, yeah. So like I said, like we basically either have to come up with a very clever cover story and explain the whole situation, or just hope for the best, or we are switching our allegiances, not necessarily to join the Swords of Liberty or something. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we're giving up our Dark Lantern and kingship support in order to pursue our own goals for our own survival.
I guarantee that when the king finds out that we just murked a settlement of his enemies, that it will soften the blow when we also say we lost some gold.
Right. So we, in that sense, like, yes, we could pursue the Swords of Liberty with the goal of softening the blow and trying to regain favor with the king. If that is what you guys are wanting.
I believe the two of you weren't along when this happened, but there has been confirmed. There was a confirmed incident that specified that the Swords of Liberty had an insider among the royalty, like the higher ups and the higher up officials in the military.
Oh.
So if we did report to the king, that would ruin any chance of us gaining their trust. Whereas now, if we just disappear, they would have no way of knowing.
I
see you solid, Manny. Yes. Got the DM.
We can just disappear. I mean, we have skills and uses, we have money, we could pursue new lives as adventurers or hermits in hiding or something. Like, basically, we're at a crossroads, a midlife crisis, if you will. We get to choose because we have a lot of power in this scenario, but not unlimited power, and there will be consequences no matter what choice we choose. So I would say that for myself, I don't trust the king and the kingdom. They haven't been the best to me, and I know things about them, and I but I also am not. I care about this land and these people. I don't want to become an enemy of everyone. I just want things to be better, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I don't think the way that things are going is very good. I think there's a bit too much warmongering and too much political bullshit happening in the, and I think that the Swords of Liberty are just a symptom of a greater problem, the inequality and everything that's existing here, the difficulty with the, new seer and the people from the Mournlands and all that. And I think that things need to be taken in a better direction. So I also somewhat sympathize with the stance of the Swords of Liberty, but I don't agree with like violent terroristic actions. And I don't think that's right. I don't think that brings about change. I think that forces change, and when you use those tactics, you just breed another sort of problem. So I don't know. We could try and approach the Swords of Liberty and see if they aren't all bad.
Y'all got a brochure?
Yeah. Did your cult have a brochure? A little pamphlet that says all the
website? What's your Instagram?
Basically, I think I've made my position clear. I'm open to pursuing the Swords of Liberty. I'm open to sticking to our allegiances, but I'm also down to forge a new path.
Fuck the man.
I put my vote towards infiltrating the Swords of Liberty. I believe it's the best chance to both end the potential of putting the nations back at war and for making Breland a nation that allows its people to make decisions. Obviously, we would need to make sure that these terrorist actions came to an end, but we can't do that by just watching from the outside. Every time one of their people die in service of trying to bring the common man a better future, they serve as the martyr, and two more join.
Kai, the borderline revolutionary.
I think our goal for now is to see if we can come into contact with the Swords of Liberty.
Okay.
And then not necessarily with ill intention, join them and either gather information and or destroy them from the inside, or influence or manipulate them to make them better.
Or go to orientation and be like, hey, this isn't so bad. Look, man, you guys would be amazing. The shit the king talks about, y'all. You guys are pretty all right.
Yeah, I did that free personality test. I feel so much better.
All right. So,
Or we can just poison them all.
Jonestown.
Yeah. Hey, you guys would love this Kool-Aid. Check this out.
God said, and I'm God, by the way. Okay,
Okay, so essentially, just to assist in your decision making, as best you know, given the information that you have been told, whether it's truthful or not is entirely up to you. According to one of the wagon tenders of the wagon before you freed them, the Swords of Liberty had recently invaded in quite significant numbers Xandrar. Okay. So if you were looking for a place to go, that would be the only nugget of information as to where you believe some would be. Everywhere else, like most terrorist organizations, they're probably everywhere, but maybe not in the concentration that would be helpful.
Okay. I say that we head to Xandrar.
Yes.
And investigates. Okay. And I think that if we do pursue this path, and I pull out the Dark Lantern symbol, I think having this is potentially dangerous. It could compromise our identity. I think it's best if we don't take them with us.
We should hide them just in case we ever need them again.
The problem is I don't we're out kind of in the middle of nowhere. We could leave them here. I mean, listen, if we end up going back to the Dark Lanterns and everything, I'm sure they have another symbol they can give us. But if we were investigated or searched by somebody of the Swords of Liberty,
what I'm suggesting
would be up, right?
What I'm suggesting is we leave these somewhere that we can find them again. Maybe we mark a place along the road. Maybe that river, we find a good, not river, the little lake, we find a good place to put them. Because
you want to go back to where the
there
wagon was.
There is something of a neighboring town. Drum Keep. It's about a day away. And as far as like major settlements or anything, you might come to like a little hamlet every here and now along that major trade road. But for the most part, the only real civilization is going to be Drum Keep, which is about probably 2 days walk from Xandrar, also on the edge of the lake, if that helps.
And we're like how far away from that? Like 2 weeks away?
Let's see, hold on.
We're walking and we're going through the forest.
It doesn't have a scale. Hold on.
Really beautiful outside.
Okay, hold on. So give me 1 second, because it might not be 2 weeks. I'm actually going to do kind of the math, because I do know one distance by time on this map. All
okay.
Right, so 3, 6, 9. It'd be about 12 days to Xandrar. Probably 3 more through the woods to the road. Probably hitting it somewhere up around here. Will be about 3 days, and then probably.
Do we have a map?
Do you the party?
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Maybe.
Ooh, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, so I don't know that Kai would be like an expert at everything, but he did a lot of traveling throughout his 196 years of life. And he also studied a lot about geography.
And these are essentially the interstates of.
Yeah. Like once I know if we walk north and we get to the major road, we'll be able to find our way. Right. I'm more just like, we're kind of in the forest right now. We don't really know. Okay, so we can hold on to these for now. I do think that they're potentially compromising. I mean, it'd be pretty hard to justify or explain why we have them if we.
I just think we should hide them somewhere. We may not be able to go back to the Dark Lantern to get more, but these symbols may give us opportunities down the road, even if we're no longer affiliated with them.
Well, I guess I'm just saying, where do we want to hide them? Do we want to hide them here, or do we want to hide them when we get closer to our destination?
possibly here because I don't think it'll.
This is like 2 weeks away from Xandrar, so this is like a journey and a half to go and get this back if we decide we need them.
Let's stick them up a tree and then carve a big old sign into the tree.
And we don't have a map to mark where we are. Like, I mean, I suppose the only telling sign is we're north of the road of that little hamlet that we walked by, the one with the like the 4 buildings or whatever. 3 buildings. Okay, well, if you want, we can stick them here, and I don't know, I find a tree that looks climbable. I'm pretty dexterous.
I'll stand up against it and let you stand on my.
Sure, I'll take all 3 Dark Lantern symbols, and I'm gonna find like a nook. Like maybe there's like a little hole in the tree, or maybe like a squirrel home.
It looks like there used to be one.
Sure, I'm gonna shove them in there.
Okay.
Maybe put some like leaves and junk on top of them. And I'm gonna
take your knife
carve. Yeah, I'm gonna take my dagger out, and I'm gonna carve into the tree. KRM.
Okay. Oh, how romantic.
All right.
And yeah, and I so you know, it's, I'm not gonna make it like a big huge carving. I'm just gonna like just enough that it's like noticeable, and we're just off the road, so it's not like gonna be super hard to find, and we left our campsite here. So anyways, okay, with that done, let us head north.
Okay.
And we'll just follow the road north with the intention of finding our way to Drum Keep.
And the first hamlet we come across, Kai wants to wash his road. Okay.
Or like a river, or something, a stream.
Yeah, first chance. That's all he's doing.
All right. So as you make your way, it is still 2 a.m. So it is dark. You kind of shimmied your way up there in the dark. Let me see. Don't have it. Okay, so you make your way along the road in the darkness. Nobody coming, nobody going. The forest kind of comes and goes. Occasionally you'll hear the crackle of leaves, like maybe a wild animal, nothing too threatening, stepping around in the brush along the side of the road. Everybody give me a perception check, please.
It's dead.
Do I have disadvantage for a hangover?
Can you smell?
I mean, I smell like vomit.
Okay, so yeah.
Okay.
Manny.
Sir.
It's nighttime, right? Dead of night.
I got a 10. I actually rolled with advantage on D&D Beyond, so it's actually a 10.
I guess I should roll with a disadvantage as well.
I got 18.
Okay.
Because it's night, I don't have dark vision or anything.
It's going to be for smell.
For smell.
Yes.
Okay, then I got a 14.
Okay.
I got an 18. Yeah.
Rel and Kai's too busy gagging on his sour chocolate milk robes, so he doesn't really smell anything. Masaow, you smell something very familiar. Rel, you have definitely smelled it before. I doubt it triggers the instant recognition that it probably does with Masaow. But it smells sweet and a little kind of rancid at the same time. and you see very large carrion birds sitting in a tree, probably 100 yards or so up the roads as the smell intensifies.
Sweet and
You-
Ransom?
Yeah.
Carrion bird. I think I asked this question before. Carrion bird is the thing that eats like dead animals.
Vulture,
Yeah, like a vulture.
vulture, buzzards, that kind of stuff. Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
They're all chilling. Like a good amount of them are chilling up on a branch, and you can hear them. You can hear the branch kind of creaking under their weight. They're squawking, and you hear like rustling, kind of in the brush, a little couple yards off of the road, basically underneath where they're congregating on the branches.
We recognize this. I recognize the smell. Can I take a moment and try and recall?
It smells like dead body.
Okay. I guess I shush the group and I point and I indicate the direction. I would say like I'd instantly snuff out any lights we have.
Okay.
And can I sneak over into that direction to try and get a better view?
Sure. Give me a stealth check.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, 9.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You-
I'm actually
You were
pretty
doing
good at it.
so
I just
good.
I just rolled really low.
The birds do have dark vision, and you step on like a branch and kind of echoes through the silence of the woods. They kind of turn and look at you, and maybe
I'm
puff
like,
up,
shit.
maybe puff up like a little bit, but nobody flies off anything. They, they heard you. That's it. They're not
Okay.
threatened or, worried about you. They're aware of your presence.
Okay, I'm gonna hope that nobody heard me and continue sneaking until I can observe what they're eating.
As you make your way under essentially the tree that you can see from the road, there appear to be about 8 humanoid, at least, bodies in various states of both decomposition and completion, as they have been picked apart by these birds and probably a number of other things. And by the look of it and the smell, especially as you get close, they've probably been dead for a while. Day or 2, maybe.
It's kind of gross, but I've seen dead bodies before. I'm gonna get if I don't perceive anybody around, I'm gonna get closer and just kind of investigate the scene without really getting like I'm not gonna touch all the rancid corpses, but I just want to like, was there like a battle here or an ambush? Do these people look or humanoids like have any armor, clothes, equipment, or anything that I could identify them by?
Okay. Masaow, Kai, as Rel kind of digs in, the birds are going to kind of like give you a wide berth, but they don't fly off as you kind of make your way into their space. They're going to kind of just keep a wide distance from you, but nobody really like
Giving a dirty look.
Yeah, you're interrupting their meal. And so as kind of Rel makes his way off the road and into this group of birds, what are you two doing?
I was trying to think.
I would probably be trying to watch any sort of flank, like dead bodies and stuff, potential for ambush. So Kai's probably trying to look around and stay alert to everything.
Okay. Masaow, you're watching. Kai's going to be kind of keeping an eye out. I guess what? Just basically straight up being lookout, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. He
Uh,
doesn't have the best perception or anything, but you know.
Yeah. So he's going to be lookout. Rel seems to be stepping into this kind of pile of bodies surrounded by these birds. What are you doing?
I'm gonna take a look around the immediate area and start wading out into the bodies as well, and seeing if I can't tell what killed them.
Okay.
I am trained in medicine. If that.
Kai, give me a perception check. We'll call it straight up. Even in the darkness, it's silent, so you could probably hear somebody trying to sneak up on you.
I rolled a 2 on the die, so it's 3 total.
Okay.
I don't think Kai succeeded.
Okay. You can't pinpoint anything out in the darkness with Masaow and Rel kind of disturbing the birds. They're kind of squawking angrily. So you really can't get a sense of what's going on, like, away. But you don't see anything, as best you can tell. No torchlight, no sounds of any kind, really. All right. Masaow and Rel, give me an investigation check. Or Masaow, medicine if you want to see how they died. And Rel, what do you want to look into? Just kind of see what the deal is, if they were like ambushed or what the deal was.
Yeah, and like to try and identify them.
Okay.
The medical die.
What'd you get?
19.
Okay. You're going to notice that some of the bodies are not... They are not dressed in the same manner. You're not really sure how many bodies there are total. Like I said, a lot of decomposition, a lot of wild animals. But you notice that at least 2 of them still have like some sort of armor on them, as the only things that have really been picked at by the birds and the wild animals are their exposed face and like bits of the wrist between their gauntlets and maybe the sleeves, maybe a bit under the armpit. But they seem for the most part intact, while there is another group of bodies that look like pulverized meat in piles of bones. They're not covered in anything. They've been exposed entirely to not only the elements, but also the wild creatures around. Rel, you're going to see that everybody, all of the bodies seem really kind of compacted together, that it looks like they were dumped here, just kind of thrown on top of each other. They're not really spread out or oriented in a way that looked like they died in like a close fight all together. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anything of note or shit? I mean,
what do you...
Sorry, like, do they have any equipment or items that I might be able to repurpose?
The 2 that still have their armor, the armor looks very familiar. It's dirty and it's smudged, but it's very clear, like a kind of, hold on. It's white gold and red. You have seen people wearing this armor twice now in the last couple of days, as it appears to be the armor of the Inquisitors of House Madani on at least 2 of them.
House Madani, which one is that?
They're the Inquisitors. Their son was supposed to be the groom. You broke into the dad's house. Right. They were also the bodyguards of the Countess. and you saw some at the
Oh.
tavern in the town on your way out this way.
Okay, so okay. So, well, it looks like the Countess has been kidnapped. I just say that out loud.
Indeed. Indeed.
Hmm. Like, I mean, I wasn't sure if this was all real, but now it seems pretty real. Okay, well, if there's nothing else, I think we should just move on.
Me too. Dead things attract scary things.
Yeah, let's well, we gathered some information. Let us depart.
Okay. You continue north along the road, still not encountering anything for several hours, making pretty good time. The road's pretty straight, pretty flat, pretty well established. And by dawn, as you kind of make your way up and down the hills, occasionally seeing over the canopy and the treetops, you begin to see that you are truly about probably by the next nightfall, as it's early morning dawn. By the next nightfall, you will probably be out of the Dragon's Wood and at least onto the main trade road. That's about how far you have to go. You have seen some dead bodies. It is the morning. You have yet to encounter a single soul along this road. And as morning comes and you kind of gauge the distance, at least out of the forest, if not to the trade road, I think this is going to be a good place for us to leave it tonight with dawn breaking. You guys kind of towing a fine line here between like outright revolutionaries and like fugitives, maybe.
Maybe
If this goes badly, you
We
can
have to
say,
see how
look, we
things
were
go."
trying to infiltrate them, and if it goes well, you were like, hey, your majesty, we were on your side this whole time.
Yep,
Unless they pitch you really well and you guys are like, yeah, fuck this.
or we might just die. So
And then you become
I
double
think,
agents for the Swords of Liberty, infiltrating the Dark Lanterns.
Yep.
That would be awesome as hell.
I think
I would.
think-
It's gonna make an Ocean's 11 movie look like look simple by comparison. Is this a triple cross or a quadruple cross? I've lost track.
yeah.
All right. So that is our episode in the books. The party took a very not odd. For you guys, it's pretty on brand. Not what I expected. The logic being, I do love it. The smile that Landon caught was just watching you literally explain the kind of stakes that I wanted to convey in this game that I wasn't sure if I had. And when you said that, like, whatever happens to the monarchy, the fact that it turns into World War I is exactly the stakes that I wanted to, like, be out there. That the little domino here could really set this thing off. And that's my fun, is to watching how you're going to knock the domino down, what it's going to look like, and then what direction you want it to go in after you have if it falls.
Yeah, because honestly, to 100% honest, if Breland were like in a vacuum and didn't have to worry about other nations, I would almost definitely not mind the assassination attempt at all. Like, not even against the kids. He would be like, well, you know, like, the monarchy is bad, gotta break a couple eggs to make an omelet.
All right.
You know? Well, I mean, like, that's just how he is. But the fact that, like, if Breland gets destabilized like that, it's complete disaster.
And those are the kinds of things
Yeah.
a dungeon master with a degree in political science thinks of when he writes a political intrigue campaign. So so we, like I said, we've taken an interesting turn in our first week back together. I can say it again. I'm glad to be back with these guys. I did miss them all. We did have a little fun with our anthology series things that will come up in a couple of weeks and months upcoming, particularly season 2 of the show. But you guys saw these guys really make some really tough decisions and really think out like real big picture stuff for what was essentially just a kind of smash and grab some money mission. And those are the kind of things that I love this group for, and the people that are in it. They do great characters, and they're even better people behind them. We'll meet them real quick. I will plug a bunch of stuff for me and the channel, and then we will get out of here and let everybody go to their regular Tuesday nights as we potentially plot for a major surprise next week. Tune in for that. Let us start with Kai. You've already proven that you would be okay with the slight murder against the royal children, as long as Breland's collapse did not affect other nations.
Well, it's something that I hadn't really, I spent a lot of time between each session thinking, what would Kai do in the situation? And given that, that's not really an option because it leads to World War III if it happens, Kai is against it. So it's not something I've really thought about. Maybe he would be against it still in that situation, but,
Sure.
it's an alternate timeline. That's when Kai becomes the overlord of Breland, King Kai,
King Kai.
Yep.
All right. Tell us about Landon.
So I'm Landon Baker. I'm married. I have 2 big Saint Bernard puppies. One's Beowulf, one is Snow. I love video games, and I love anime, and I love manga, and just most of the stuff I like, it tends to be Japanese influence. So a lot of games I like is Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, anime, manga, stuff like that.
And we saw what you played during the anthology episode, so yes.
Yep. First D&D character I ever created, sat down and created was Way of Shadow monk as a ninja, of course. And then last week I did the samurai. So I really, I'm a weeb through and through, but I just want to say I appreciate this group of guys. Definitely the best D&D group I've ever been in, and I look forward to playing with you all every week. So that's me.
Love you, buddy. All right. Our kind of maybe not driving the decisions other than burning the wagon, but definitely seeming to be down for either. Masaow, what's going on with that? And then tell us a little bit about our boy Tenta.
Masaow just knows the value of sprinkling chaos into any situation.
Okay.
So, while he is kind of in the middle, he's not really concerned if there is a monarchy or if there is no monarchy, because he knows in time Caius is going to come back. It's going to change everything. He's just got to get there. So whatever happens in the in between, not much his concern, so long as the heralds live.
Stay alive.
Yep.
Fabulous.
He's going to kind of punctuate some chaos here and there.
All right. With terrorist organizations, I guess that's all right. All right. Tell us a little bit about Tenta.
I'm Tenta. I 38. I love D&D and video games and wrestling and metal. And glad to be a part of this group with these guys. The more we work together and work through stuff, the more fun it is. And the more it feels like, for sure, we're all really friends, and it's awesome. And just good vibes tonight.
All right. Awesome.
So,
thanks, buddy. And just having returned from the Caribbean, slumming it with us here, D&D, not being on a cruise, having the time of his life with his partner. Rel, so you're kind of a sneaky kind of, one of your character things is being able to get in and out of things, right? So isn't this kind of infiltration maybe right up your sort of wheelhouse at least?
It could / should be. I'm a bit of an investigator, so I'm used to getting into, nooks and crannies and asking questions. So I'm really good at getting information out of people and seeing if they're telling the truth. But I'm also pretty good at, maybe getting into your office and finding out, that note that says you did something that you weren't supposed to,
Reading.
So yeah, this could be all what I'm all about.
This session could have been an email. Got it. Awesome. All right, so we're taking this or at least wait and see revolutionary approach to the rest of our campaign while in service to the king and his special forces division of the military. All right, I love it. Tell us about it, Dustin.
Yeah, my name's Dustin. I live in the Canadas. You know, I'm enjoying getting to uh play with a couple of really cool guys, playing, doing the Dungeons and Dragons, and but most of all, I'm trying to let my role-playing flag fly, trying to find the fun a little bit, trying.
Sure. You're great.
Mhm.
You're great, buddy. All right, like I said, that's our amazing cast. I'm so lucky to have them, and perhaps next week we will have a surprise to go along with these three fine gentlemen. As always, I've been Manny at GrowedUpGeek on your social medias, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. Join us tomorrow night here on the channel, 7 p.m. Eastern Time for episode 5 of Dynasty of Dragons, our high-level limited campaign. It's really starting to ramp up. A lot of mystery, a lot of big numbers, a lot of cool things happening on that. And then this Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, on twitch.tv/insightchecked, exactly as it's spelled. Watch as she hosts as our storyteller and game master for this great game, Kids on Bikes, with myself, good people, Jess the Human, Mandalorian, and Mr. Daryl Dorsey. They're a great group. We're going to play a bunch of kids, and essentially, if you don't know, Kids on Bikes is essentially a TTRPG in the style of like Stranger Things. Supernatural, you play kids or adults. You go and investigate this thing. We had our session 0 on Sunday night. A great group of people. I am so excited for that. So tune in and you can catch me as a player playing something other than D&D 5th edition. Like I said, 11 a.m. Eastern Time on twitch.tv/insightchecked. Super excited about that. We'll be back here next week, next Tuesday, as we start to really ramp up for our season 1 finale. I am so excited that it seems that in their discourse tonight, a lot of the things that I'd hoped to convey have been conveyed. So we're all on the same page and we're just unraveling this mystery. I love this group. I love Dungeons & Dragons and the people who play it. So check us out tomorrow night. Look for me on Sunday as a player. If not, we'll see you back here next week, Tuesday, 7 p.m. for Eberron, Tranquility's Twilight. Until then, we'll see you later. Have a great night. Bye.